Normally I am not at a loss for words because I am a diplomat, I am trained to say things. But today I am really at a loss for words. Actually, Dr. M. Kaviraja, my brother Suren, and there are so many dignitaries that, let me just say, brothers and sisters of Sri Murugan Center, distinguished media, ladies and gentlemen. Apart from the fact that it gives me great pleasure to be here, this is something which I frankly did not expect from actually Dr. Thangiraja. You know, in fact, my wife was looking at the invitation and she said that it says an evening with High Commissioner. So I told her, you must be happy that at least it says evening with High Commissioner. It doesn't say at the evening of High Commissioner's career. And since there has been speculation for the last nearly 1 year that I will be leaving Malaysia, and unfortunately I'm still here. So I was just telling her that, you know, I'm still being regarded here as the distinguished diplomat. It's indeed a great feeling to be among brothers and sisters of the Sri Murugan Center. You know, when I joined the Ramakrishna Mission College, the Vivekananda College, I joined the Vivekananda College because I felt that it was probably the best college for commerce, accountancy and management. But when I left Vivekananda College, not only did I learn commerce, accountancy and management, but the college itself transformed me. The college, the Ramakrishna Mission, changed me. I learned several things, including certain basic human values. In fact, it was a very great Persian Islamic Sufi scholar of the 13th century, Jalaluddin Muhammad Rumi, and he mentioned that yesterday I was clever, I wanted to change the world, but today I am wiser, I am trying to change myself. That's what he said. So excellence in education comes not just from excellence in the profession or the trade which is being taught, but also excellence in human values. Just yesterday, I got a WhatsApp, and you know, those days Google was the guru for all of us. These days, WhatsApp is the guru. So I was looking at it, and I do not know whether it's a fake or whether it's true. But irrespective of that, what it said, it was a WhatsApp about a school principal who had suffered in the concentration camp of the Nazis. And he writes that my eyes saw that which none of you should ever witness. Gas chambers built by learned engineers. Children being poisoned by educated physicians. Infants being killed by trained nurses. Women and babies being shot dead by high school and college graduates. He says that, and continues, and says that what we need to teach them first is humanism. Please do not teach them to be learned monsters or educated maniacs or learned psychopaths. All education should result in you becoming a better human being. And this is something which struck me, and even if it is a fake forward, I think it carries a tremendous amount of meaning in it. Because ultimately, when you go for excellence, what makes a huge difference is excellence of human values which you have, and not just the excellence of the trade or the profession that you train in. The other day I was trying to read some literature on architecture. You know, as a diplomat, one has to do all sorts of things. And I have no idea what architecture is. I was just reading some literature. And there is this ancient Vastu Vidya, which is about the science of architecture. And I was reading it to find out, because Vastu Vidya says that 4 experts emerged from Lord Brahma, who is the creator. And one of the experts who emerged from Lord Brahma was the Stapati. Stapati, as you know, is the master builder or the master architect. So I thought I'll read it and see what are the qualities which you require for a Stapati. I thought they will write, he should have an eye for detail, and he should have an understanding of the concept, he should have an understanding of the design, and that he should know about time and space and many other things. But what it said as qualities of a Stapati was that he should be truthful, he should be joyous, he should be friendly, he should possess integrity of mind and body, and finally, he should be free of all vices. Those are the great qualities which in fact the Vastu Vidya enumerates for a great Stapati, and that is the one where you cross the Rubicon. If you have these qualities, you cross the Rubicon to greatness. From a mere architect, you become a great architect. From a mere builder, you become a great builder. So why I mention all this is that excellence, the pursuit of excellence in your own profession or trade is not enough. The pursuit of excellence of human values is what makes you cross the Rubicon to greatness. Therefore, institutions have to help you to cross this Rubicon from an ordinary profession or a trade into a great profession or a great trade. And that, my dear friends, is what Shri Murugan Center does. When I saw the very first time Tanshri came and he met me with Suren and others, I still remember the conversation, every element of the conversation I had with them. The 3 ideals, the way they go about it, and they explained it to me. I thought that this is a fantastic way of taking true education to the people of the Indian community in Malaysia. And that is why Shri Murugan Center, their pursuit of excellence, it not just, because when young students come to Shri Murugan Center, they come to seek excellence in education. But when they leave the portals of Shri Murugan Center, they have excellence in trying to pursue life itself. They have all the tools to be able to face life, the values which is to be inculcated to make them, to truly educate them. And that is why when Tanshri was mentioning about the fact that I tried to send it to Government of India and recommend the Shri Murugan Center for the Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Award, let me just say, nobody in this world can recommend someone who doesn't deserve it. He has got it because it is his absolutely unflinching dedication to this. That is the only reason why the Shri Murugan Center got the Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Award. this award is not given just to anyone. He has been a pillar in the Indian community. I have no words to describe the contribution that he has made for the welfare of the Indian community in Malaysia. And if there is one person who deserves it, it is Shri Dr. Thabiraja. And it's a matter of great pride for me that when this award was being conferred by the President of India, I was there in Bangalore to witness this wonderful occasion. And I'm sure that for all of you, it must have been a matter of great pride for all Malaysians to see the award being conferred on Tan Shri. And therefore, I just wanted to say that when it comes that the band of youngsters are carrying on this wonderful tradition which Tan Shri has started. In fact, when I was listening to very carefully to all that was being mentioned, and I don't know how Dr. Rajamani, get all the secrets about me sketching, all these leaders and Yasser Arafat and others and getting their signature. I had not even put up Dalai Lama and others photographs in my house. I thought that is already kept in cartons. But when I first came here, I had never visited Malaysia before that. When I got posted here, that was the first time ever that I stepped foot in Malaysia. And but however, of course, one hears a lot about Malaysia because I dealt with Malaysian diplomats, Malaysian negotiators, and they are some of the finest negotiators in the world. And I've dealt with them most when I was dealing with the United Nations and otherwise. But as youngsters, of course, we have heard. I still remember as a youngster, and the most nostalgic memory I have is that I used to hear the All India Radio advertisement, and it used to be on Gopal Palpodi. And they used to say, Gopal Palpodi, it is available in India, in Singapore, and of course, lo and behold, in Malaysia also. That was my first thing, that there is a country called Malaysia, where you can get Gopal Palpodi. So since that time, I have always kept Malaysia, and I have followed Malaysia. So when I was posted to Malaysia, of course, that was frankly at my own request. I requested my Prime Minister, when he asked me, he was kind enough to ask me, and I said, please post me to Malaysia. Then he asked me, do you have relatives there? So I told him, see, I don't know a soul in Malaysia, but I still want to go there. And he was kind enough to give me Malaysia. So when I came here, I was absolutely new. But I must say, when I came here, it just took my breath away. The range and the depth of our relations between India and Malaysia is simply stunning. And I can't even start describing what sort of a feeling I had when I come here. I study our history, our civilization. Our relations have so many dimensions. It can be subtle and delicious, like roti chennai, for example. And it can be very symbolic, like Jalan Raja Chulan, which you find in Kuala Lumpur, which of course symbolizes the great Chola Empire and Rajaradhenya's Chola's own imprint in Kadara when he was very much there. Our relations is also sometimes hidden from public view. For example, the Battle of Kampar. The site of the Battle of Kampar is hidden from public view, even though it is on the road, because of all the undergrowth covering the trenches. And that is where hundreds of Indians lost their lives from the 11th Indian Infantry Division during the Second World War. And we have offered to, with Malaysia, our Prime Minister offered to build a memorial so that the soldiers can be honored, both Malaysians and Indians. It can also be something which we may not even know about in our relations. For example, the Sejarah Melayu, as you know, the Malayan annals. It says that in 1509, in Malacca, out of the 4,000 traders, 1,000 were Gujaratis. This is something which I didn't know. It also says that long time ago in Penang, when Sir Francis Light took over Penang, there was in fact a street called the Malabar Street, where the Chulias were, where the Indian Muslims had resided. So it was one of the largest community in Penang at that time when he even took over Penang. It is also an extremely emotional relationship. And as you were mentioning, when we talk about the Malaysian veterans who are still alive, who fought side by side with Netaji in the Indian National Army and the Rani of Jhansi Regiment. This is an extremely emotional thing. In fact, the High Commission, as you have correctly pointed out, we have just completed a documentary on the Malaysian veterans who fought for Indian independence. And we have many veterans speaking. And in fact, I told my Deputy High Commissioner, it's over, it's ready, why don't you take a look? And after taking a look, Nikhilesh, that's his name, he said, sir, I had tears in my eyes. So I'm hoping that we'll bring it next week. And I'll request, of course, Dr. Rajamani was kindly offered to have it broadcasted in Astro. It is also very emotional when you think about the fact that in Sungai Patani, when Mahatma Gandhi died, with their meager resources, the laborers there contributed money to build the Gandhi Memorial Hall. It can also be a very palpable and a very visible sort of relations when you see the commemoration stone in Murugan, where more than 42,600 soldiers of the Indian Beach Group landed in Murugan. There is a commemoration stone there. It is also a very gratifying relationship when you see that the majority of the doctors in Malaysia have studied one way or the other in Indian institutions. And now it is gratifying to see that many of them are now looking at India for Ayurveda and Siddha, and the Malaysian government has been very kind to collaborate with them. A relationship with Malaysia evokes all sorts of feelings, but through history it has been strong, it has been close, it is a civilizational relationship. And let me assure you that with the two Prime Ministers, Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Najib, it has probably been the highest ever we have had so far in our history. I also wanted to just thank those who had spoken about the Know India program and also about the iTech. And it is an extremely important program for us. To know India is something which I'm sure that you will agree with me. In spite of the fact that there are nearly 3 million people of Indian origin in Malaysia. And how it came to 3 million is because for us, Indian origin people, irrespective of your religion, you're all Indian origin for us. So it's nearly 3 million. But majority of the 3 million know a hell of a lot about one part of India, but they hardly know anything at all about the other parts of India. So the younger generation of Indian origin here, they do not have that type of an intimacy which their parents have had. And they are willing to look at India for what it is. And that is why the Know India program, when it takes them to other parts of India which you don't normally see, whether it's North India or East India or other places, this is a part of India which opens their eyes to see that this is actually the place where their ancestors came from. It's a very important thing for us. And we have only 1% of Indians here who have taken the OCI card. So I would request you to please urge the rest of the 99% to take the OCI card. It's not a difficult process. It's a pretty easy process, and all they have to follow is the website which is there. One of the things about India is not just its size, but the fact that we are very diverse in India. And while I know that in Malaysia most of you are predominantly speaking in Tamil or Telugu or in Malayalam, but the thing is that India is very diverse, and what has kept us together is our faith in democracy. Democracy has helped every part of India blossom and come into its own. The idea of India is that India is greater than the sum of its parts. And I remember that in 2014 when I spoke to you, I did mention about the 2014 elections, general elections, and you will recall, Tanshri and the others, I said that that electorate at that time in 2014 general elections was 814 million. And we had 930,000 polling stations. And we had about nearly 15,000 candidates, representing nearly 500 political parties. But when we undertook this gigantic exercise, what we do is that we reinforce our faith in India, our faith in democracy. And that is why it has kept us going in spite of the diversity, it is enormous diversity we have. But that we can come and engage with the second largest Indian origin diaspora in the world, which is Malaysia. We want to engage with you as India. We have our strengths, we have our weaknesses, and you probably know our weaknesses much more than we do. But let me say that when you mentioned about education, and Tanjali had mentioned about IITs, IIMs, this is something which we need to reach out. We have not yet reached out. IITs are not abroad, unfortunately, and they're still a bit insular, particularly in medicine and in education. But we want to reach out to Malaysia, and that is the reason why in the recent visit of Prime Minister Najib to India, we signed an MOU for recognition of non-medical degrees. Because medical degrees have already been recognized over the years. But this is the first time that we are signing an MOU for recognition of non-medical degrees, primarily engineering. Because when I issue about, let's say, 1,000 visas a year for Malaysian students to study in India, about 950 or more are only for medicine. Hardly anyone goes for engineering. So when I sat down and discussed with the Ministry of Education, I realized that that is because they are not recognized here. So they are very reluctant to go there. So we have opened up engineering now with the signing of this MOU. And I'm hoping that more and more Malaysians will start studying engineering in India. And it also includes business degrees. So let me discuss how we can make this something which is a reality for the Sri Murugan Center and the students who come from this. I'll do my best on this. I cannot assure you that it can be done, but it is something we are moving towards, and that's precisely why we signed this MOU. Let me say once again that, this is a very, coming to an occasion like this, when you say so many nice things about me, then it is both flattering and it's also very unnerving. It is very flattering because when you say all these nice things, then when you really start believing that it is true, then it is very flattering. But when it's very unnerving, when you know in your heart of hearts that it's not really true and you really don't deserve all the praise which is being told to you. So thank you, Tanshri, for organizing an event which is both flattering and unnerving for me. And also, my wife was very particular that she should come here because we have always considered Sri Murugan Center as a part of our family, and we'll continue to do that.